Pokémon 151, the product that's been booming pretty much ever since release. Everyone knew it was going to be a good product to hold long term, a good product to crack for singles. But did people realize what was going to happen just a little over a year later? Let's discuss it in today's video as we take a look at some of the sealed product and singles from the set.
Some people dream of success while you're going to wake up and work hard at it.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VMAT. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and joining in all the fun we have here. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon 151, perhaps the most, desirable set from the Scarlet and Violet era, until maybe, perhaps, Prismatic Evolutions, which is an Eevee-centered set. And, the only way you can take down Charizard is with an Eevee, of course, and that is what's coming in February of 2025. But until then, the crown prince of the Scarlet and Violet era is, of course, Pokemon 151. Let's talk about it in today's video. First, by taking a look at some of the sealed product. And the first piece of sealed product I wanted to take a look at is the regular ETB. This one is currently sitting $126.97. For its market price, it's up by 172.53% over the last year. If you look at the 3-month trend, you can see that it really started to go off in the beginning of September, mid-September, I guess, at about $78.60, and has almost doubled in price since then, a whopping 59.54%. Next up is the Pokemon Ultra Premium Collection, the Mew focused box. This one is currently up by 151.80% over the last year, currently sitting at $246.94. If you look at the 3-month chart, you can see that, yes, it kind of bottomed a little bit in September and then just been on the rise ever since then. You're going to see similar price movement even on the single cards, so keep that in mind. Next up, we've got the Pokemon Center exclusive right here. It is currently sitting at $269.48 for its market price. It's up by 185.35% over the last year. If you look at the 3-month chart, you can see it's up by 81.42%. Next on the list is Charmeleon. This is the first card from the top 10 that we're going to take a look from 151, the first starter Pokemon. I don't think any of the other second form evolutions even made the cut. We have the base forms and not the second evolution is just Charmeleon because it's a special one, obviously, right? It's a Charizard. It's attached to Charizard. Charizard is, of course, the king of 151, right? If you're not a Charizard fan, I totally get it. It's like eye-rolling time because Charizard is just one of those Pokemon everyone knows is going to do well. So this card is actually up by 42.15% over the last year, sitting at $30.52. If you look at the 3-month chart, you can see it kind of dropped in September, September 26th to 28th at $24.13, and kind of on the rise ever since, although it's kind of flatlined a little bit. Hasn't done much in the last 2 months, but we will see where this card lands next year. Next up is Squirtle, the very first base starter Pokemon here. It is currently up by 48.64% over the last year. It's sitting at $41.44. If you look at the 3-month chart, you can see it's up by 35.20%. Great price movement as well on this card. Next up is Bulbasaur, 166 out of 165, another starter Pokemon. It's up by 67.62% over the last year, sitting at $42.29. And again, if you look at the 3-month chart, you can see it's up by 52.79%, and it really started to go up in September, around September 20th, it just kind of was on the straight path upwards, climbing up that mountain. We have Charizard EX, the regular full art. It is up by 19.58% over the last year, sitting at $44.52. If you look at the 3-month chart, you can see it's up by 26.61%. So it did have a bit of a drop, but again, in September, kind of started its climb and has never really had much of a decline after that. Next is the first special illustration rare. It's Alakazam EX 201 out of 165, currently up by 38.74%. Over the last year, it's sitting at $45.73. If you look at the 3-month chart, you can see that it's up by 38.60%. Really started to climb from around September 23rd to 25th, and then just has been on the rise ever since then, just climbing. Now we have a Charmander here. This is the illustration rare, beautiful card here. Everyone loves this card. Everyone loves the artwork on this. It's up by 71.17%, sitting at $54.02. For its market price, this is over the last year. If you look at the 3-month trend, you can see it's up by 57.17%. And again, it started its climb in September as well. Next up is another special illustration rare Zapdos EX 202 out of 165. It's up by 30.41% over the last year, sitting at $55.49. If you look at the 3-month chart, you can see it's up by 40.94%, and it really started its climb in September. A lot of these cards, they were pretty high, and then they started to decline ever since we started getting a lot of restocks and reprints. And a lot of them bottomed out around September, then all have just kind of started to just go up and up and up. And then now we're at a stage where we're asking ourselves, is it going to go up even further in the next month? Probably, right? It's probably even a dumb question to ask. Pokemon cards, Pokemon singles, especially 151 Kanto Pokemon singles, they almost always go up. Next up is Blastoise EX 200 to 165. It's currently up by 64.81% over the last year, sitting at $76.24. If you look at the 3-month trend, you can see that it's up by 54.09%. Actually picked up the single recently because I was never able to open it in a pack. I really wanted to open up the big three. I just didn't have good luck when it comes to the special illustration rares in the set, but I had really good luck with illustration rares, especially the big 3 starters. But for some reason, this card always evaded me, so I had to pick it up. I spent $85 Canadian, which is not bad considering it's $75.81 American, which is like $107. So I think I got a pretty good deal, and it's like a near mint card as well. Next up is Venusaur EX 198 out of 165. It's up by 72.60%. Over the last year, sitting at $77.05. If you look at the 3-month trend, you can see that it's up by 63.79%. And again, it really started to climb. Well, it started a little bit of a rise in September, and then it really popped off in October. And of course, the most expensive card on the list, everyone knew it was coming. It's Charizard EX Special Illustration Rare. It's up by 83.86% over the last year, sitting at $217.49. If you look at the 3-month trend, you can see that it's up by 77.86%. Look at that. Really started to rise end of September and then just popped off at the beginning of October, all the way up to $210.71. Then kind of have a little bit of a drop and then started to climb back up to $218.66. Unbelievable movement on the singles in the set, including the sealed product. We didn't take a look at all the sealed product in the set. Maybe I'll do that in a future video in a few weeks or so. But yeah, all the sealed products has been basically going up, especially the binder collection. That's one that I didn't put in today's video. It just didn't quite make the cut. I just wanted to show you guys the 3 most expensive sealed product, and that was the regular ETB, then the Pokémon Center one, and the Ultra Premium Collection. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.